Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to import and crop images within Moonfruit. Now there are two ways to actually add images onto your page. Now the first way is to simply go into your file editor, find an appropriate image, so for instance this image here, and then click use. So as you can see, the image now is actually on the page and it's at its full size. Now if I need to resize this image, for instance if I want to make it a little bit smaller, I'll have to resize it using these notches in the corner. But let's say for instance I wanted this to be a lot thinner than it actually is. If I was to resize it like so, it will actually squash the image. So what I can do is actually crop it within an image fill. Now the way to do that is we'll draw a shape. So any of these three shapes. So what I'll actually do here, I'll add three shapes to my canvas or my page. Then I'm going to add images within them. So I'll click on an object. I'll go into the editor. I'll click on Style. I'll click on Solid Object here. And then from the drop down menu, I'll select Image Fill. This will enable me to click Edit, Browse to open up my file manager, or find any other image. I'm going to simply select the image and click Use. There are various ways I could resize and crop this image. So the first way, or the easiest way, is actually to use this arrow. The arrow is pointing upwards, which means it's actually indicating the direction of the image. So I'll show you a bit about that later. So to simply sort of zoom out, or to make this image fit a bit better within this frame, I'll click on the top of the arrow and drag down a little bit. And as you can see, it zooms out of the actual image. If I was to drag it to the right, I can rotate the image to the right, and I can do so to the left. Notice that as I'm making these changes, in the editor, you can see that these values are changing. This will enable me to edit the values here. I can also edit the X and Y, which will actually move the image from left to right. So it's that simple. I'll do the same thing for this rounded square. I'll select the object, go into Style, click on Solid Background, Image Fill, Edit, and Browse. And then I'll select my image. Once the image is in the frame, I can zoom out simply by dragging the arrow down and then replacing it within the image fill. Lastly, I'll do it within this circle. I'm going to select my image, click Use, and then I'll zoom out like so. And then I can position the image wherever. Notice if we zoom out quite a lot, the image begins to repeat. This is quite handy when you're using patterns, so you can repeat patterns within your image fill. There are basically two downsides to using image fill within Moonfruit. The first downside is that we can't add alt tags to our images. So if a blind person was using a computer, the speech recognition software can read the alt tag and describe the image to the user. The second downside to using image fills within Moonfruit is that the images are the same size. Even though it's been cropped, or it appears to be made smaller, the size of the image in megabytes is actually the same. So when you preview the site, click Save, the image will take a longer while to actually load up on the page. So if you're using a really large image and you've scaled it down within an image fill, it will still load the same way the full length image would load. So if it's a really large image, it will take a long time for it to appear. And these things happen with image fills. There's ways around this. You can preview the image within Chrome. Sorry, preview the site within Chrome. Right click on the image and then click Open Image in New Tab. This will show you the cropped version of the image. You can go into the File menu and click Save Page As, and then you can rename your image appropriately. So let's call it Photo 1. I'll go back within the editor. I'll click File. I'll upload. Find the image and I'll re-upload it again. This will upload the actual cropped version of the image. So as you can see, the image is an exact replica, but in actuality, it's smaller than the original image fill. So those are the ways that you could actually crop your images within Moonfruit. So on the Style tab, this enables you to adjust your transparency, but also allows you to edit your alt tags. And alt tags basically describe the images. So here, I could just type in Orphan Boy, and then I'll select Display alt tags and click Apply. So this is good web practice to actually have alt tags on your pages. You can always use graphic editors like there are online ones. I use Pixel Art Editor and Photoshop if you have, or Paint.net or what have you, to actually crop your images into the correct size. But always, when you're adding images within Moonfruit, or when you're designing within Moonfruit and you're attempting to find an image to fill out a space, use a square to place it where the image is going to be. So basically using the square as a placeholder image. This will enable you to have the exact size of the placeholder. So for instance, if I needed to put an image here and I want to be able to crop my image down to that size, okay, I'll use these values here, the width and height of my placeholder, to crop my image into that size, so that when I do upload it, it will fit perfectly within this container. So that's all. Like I said, I hope you learned something. Do like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.